And we're live. Hello, everyone, and shout out to each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to your girl Siren right here on the Siren Speak Show. All right, so hey, y'all. Hello. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning up in two. I appreciate it. Okay. Oh, wait, is this playing? Okay. I appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for giving me a big old fat thumbs up as you tune up into the building. You guys, today we're going to be talking about partnerships and relationships. So this is partnerships as far as friends, co-workers, jobs, credit card companies, whomever it is that, or whatever entity it is that you join a partnership with, okay? We're also going to be talking about relationships because this is who you connect to romantically. So a partnership can also be, with your child, your children, your neighbors, whomever. But the relationship is specifically with someone that you are intimate with, or someone that you are courting, or they are courting you, whatever it may be. I don't know how y'all get down. Okay. So shout out to you guys as you tune up into the building, you guys. So I'm trying to figure out how it is that we're going to be doing this, because I'm thinking that, let me see if I can lower this just a little bit. All right, tilting over. I'm thinking that Mondays, we're going to talk more of our spiritual healing and things of that nature, healing our mental health, physical health, spiritual health, things of that nature. And then on Wednesdays, we'll tune into talking about relationships and partnerships. Okay. And then Fridays, we go straight to the money, baby. Okay. Friday, we'll have our conversations in regards to financial literacy, financial stability, financial security, and financial growth, okay? Things of that nature. So I'm just trying to see how it is that I want to break this down so that it can make sense, right? So they all can make sense. So today we're going to be talking about partnerships and relationships, you guys, okay? And the importance of being in healthy partnerships and relationships, because moving forward in 2026 and up, okay, if that's where you think we are. Now, listen, you guys, the other day when I came live, I don't know if y'all caught it, okay? But when I was talking about, I was speaking about 2026 and you being the main character. That's the energy, main character energy in 2026. I kept saying 2022. I was like, y'all, as we move into 2022, and I'm like, wait, why do I keep saying 2022? So I don't know if y'all caught it or not, but when I went to watch back the live, I was like, oh my God, I kept saying 2022, just not even recognizing. Usually I would correct myself, but I felt like kind of robotic that day. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, what happened there? Like I would have caught that, So anywho, yes, being over here in 2026, we're going to discuss all about partnerships today. We're going to talk about some things that we need to do, things that we need to focus on so that we can be in healthier partnerships and also healthier relationships. We want to not be responsible. I told you guys this year right here, we do not want to be responsible for anyone outside of ourselves. So when it comes to our partnerships and relationships, it's kind of like you're going to have to make sure that you are doing everything that you can do for you and not really depending on anybody outside of self, okay, to make sure that you are good. All right. So when it comes to the relationship, and we're going to ping pong back and forth between relationship and partnerships. Now, remember, partnerships is your neighbors, okay, your co-workers, things of that nature. And then we're going to ping pong over to relationships, which is your significant other, someone who you're courting or someone who's courting you, okay? So we're going to ping pong back and forth between the two. Now, when it comes to relationships, you guys, there is going to be a need, and this is going to be on a whenever you feel it need, because it's going to be different for all of us, okay? When it comes to relationships, you guys, there is a necessity for abstinence, meaning no intimacy moments. There are very critical moments in your life. There are critical times in your life that you need to be abstinent. You need to, even when you are married, if your significant other feels like, hey, I can't wait for you to, have your moment. I need it and I need it now. If you're with the right person, they will respect the fact that you're taking some time. You guys, when it comes to our intimate parts, when it comes to our sacral chakra, okay, which is the chakra that vibrates towards our intimate parts, our womb, okay, our testicles and our, long horns. I hope they're long. But anywho, so yes, when it comes to these particular parts, right, there's a time that we need to practice some sort of healing. And when you are intimate with someone else, you are constantly releasing your energy or you are absorbing their energy. So let's say your partner is having a rough day, right? I'm giving y'all some things now. Let's say your partner is having a rough day or your partner is, feeling a little depressed or feeling a little stressed. Siren, would not be intimate with that person when they're going through whatever they're going through. Y'all, we're going to have to become more and more responsible with how it is that we handle our energy, okay? When you specifically know that your partner is going through some type of trauma, maybe they've lost a relative, a close friend, their job, or they're just having some emotional moment or whatever. They got into it with their friend, they got into it with their mama, their sister, whatever it may be. You are going to have to use your own discernment that when your partner is going through some things, that is not a time to be intimate with that person. Now, I know typically, because I know how Bay is. Bay love to make me, he like to feel like that makes me feel better. He's like, well, I know what to make you feel better. Yeah, let me keep you out of my bedroom. But anywho, so it's like, that's not a time to make me feel better like that. I've realized that because what I don't want to do is spread that germ onto him, those emotions onto him. What happens after me and him are intimate? He's going to probably start having a rough day and I'm going to be like, whoo, thank you, Jesus, smoking a cigarette. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, babe. Thank you. That's how it is. So we have to be very careful, you guys, when our significant other is going through a very hard day or, when they're going through a very emotional time. That is not a time, y'all. I'm teaching y'all how to be very, very, very not stingy, but very bougie with your energy. So make sure that when it comes to times like that you're not being intimate with them. Give them some time to relax, rewind, release that energy. If you want to help them to heal, say, listen, what we got to do for you to release that? Because the last thing you want to do is become intimate with them and then you take on part of that burden. Okay. Also, when you are going through things, you guys, when you are going through harsh times, when you are experiencing, heavy times of energy, you don't want to, because how these entities work, when they attach to you and you share them with others via your intimate actions, you guys, it's just like you're going to keep that energy in the household. And what you don't want to do is spread that germ to others in the household. You know what I'm saying? So when you're going through a hard day and your significant other starts with that little shoulder massage, and then start rubbing down your back and then, kissing you on your neck and stuff, you want to be like, you know what? We ain't even going to do this right now. Okay. Just let me release whatever this is. And then we'll get back to that. But right now, we don't want this energy ping ponging because what it'll do, you will make this energy stay in your household a lot longer than it should be. Meaning you will keep transferring it back to one another, You want to give yourself time to heal and release that energy. And you want your significant other to have time to heal and release that energy, so that you guys aren't constantly swapping this energy back and forth between one another. Let it exit your home and you guys can then experience a healthier relationship, okay? Hey to everyone who's tuned up into Terrence up in the building. What's up? Okay. Shout out to Crystal. Crystal in the building. Hey, Crystal. Crystal say, hey, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Child, look at it being Wednesday hump day. Y'all, your girl Siren is here once again. Like, who? Y'all, Siren is back, y'all. It took me a little minute. What's about 2-3 years? See, that's why you can't send black folk on no vacation. You can't have them going on. We can't ever do. We gotta have somebody telling us what to do, when to do, how to do it. Because when we get a position where we could do it on our own, we don't know how to act. We don't know how to come back. I shouldn't have came back after 3 years, y'all. I'm sorry. Please, excusez-moi, okay? But your girl is back, okay? And better than ever. Yes. So, yes, when it comes to that energy, y'all, healing in love and in marriage, for those of you who are romantically involved, okay? Yes, abstinence, you guys. You're going to have to know when to pull back, when to be intimate, when not to be intimate. And even if you are in like a non-committed relationship, if that person call you and they going through some stuff and they like, yeah, man, I'm just, I'm finna come over there because, I done had a work. I'm just scared. You finna come where? Are you about? No, baby, I think you need to stay home. As a matter of fact, get your little earth and a little salt bath or something, cleanse yourself. I think you need to heal, relax. You need to calm, drink your little tea or something, something to really heal that energy, because last thing you want that person to do is bring that energy over to your house. Okay. So the need to, use discernment, the need to, be intimate when the time is right. Okay. So knowing when and when not to be intimate, knowing when to be abstinent, or, when to practice celibacy, you guys. Now, celibacy is something totally different. If somebody is going through it for a while, it can eventually turn into celibacy. If someone is going through a very critical time that is hard for them to get over, then, when it turns into weeks and months and days, days and months and stuff like that, then that's when, it can turn into celibacy. But just long as you know how to use discernment and to protect your energy, because it can be exchanged via intimate acts with your significant other. Okay. How to raise up your partner. Okay. I think this is a very critical conversation, because sometimes our partners can lag, which means you're working on yourself, but they still living their damn life. They still clocking in, clocking out, coming home, going to sleep, getting on the phone, doing whatever it is that they do. But you're trying to change the way you eat. You're trying to go for walks every day. You're trying to, learn how to decode your dreams. You're seeing synchronizations, but you can't come home and say, hey, babe, I saw 333 today. They like 333. Okay. And what I'm saying? So it's how to level up your partner energetically. And I think that when you are in some sort of a committed relationship, the both of you should be together in this. If it is to a point where this person is on this path and you're on that path, then you guys may have to go to the basics of the relationship and create a healthier foundation of one where you can both support each other on each other's journey. Okay. I do believe when it comes to the belief system, I do believe that it should be the same in the household, because as a partner, you're supposed to raise kids with this person and things of that nature. So if you're in one belief system and they're in another belief system, that doesn't seem like a steady or healthy foundation for a partnership. So, I would definitely look into that, right? So the need to level up your partner, you guys. Let's say you're starting to, you're somebody new. You just started checking out spiritual candies and, tuning into Siren, and you just getting on your little vibe. You starting to do your 10,000 steps, or you're starting to, drink your teas and stuff. You're starting to eat according to your blood type, or you want to go get your blood type done. You don't even know what it is. You want to start doing some sort of healing, right? And of course, maybe your partner don't look at Siren, don't know Siren exists or whatever. So slowly but surely, maybe you want to introduce them to some of the things that you have learned, okay? And say, hey, this is what I'm doing. I think it's very, excuse me, y'all. I have indigestion like it's nobody's business. And it's only because I'm talking too much. So I think I'm taking in a lot of air. But anywho, maybe you want to introduce it to that significant other, letting them know that this is something that you value and you would appreciate them, supporting you on this journey, to the point where they may eventually want to join you. Don't ask them to join, because then it will feel forced. Let them watch you heal first. Let them see how this changes you. Let them see your transformation. And then they're going to be like, ooh, so you don't want to force what you're doing onto your partner. You want to make sure that you just ask them to be with you, to walk with you as you go through this journey, and as they see you level up, as they see you grow emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and even financially, they may say, hey, you know what? This is something that I want to do too. So when it comes to leveling up your partner, like I say, don't force anything on them. That's the last thing that you want to do. But what you do want to do is have conversations with them about the journey that you are choosing, okay? And, ask them to support you on that journey, meaning they have to be an open ear. As you're going through this journey, you will need to vent, okay? Because when you start to heal, a lot of stuff comes up. A lot of stuff, it comes up either in the form of an emotion or it comes up in the form of an experience. And you're going to need somebody who understands what you're going through and where you're coming from. So granted, you got old Siren, your good old counselor, your advisor, things of that nature, your healer. You can call and talk to Siren, but, not every damn question, so you're going to need somebody that you like, okay, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what happened to me today. Okay. And just even if your partner does not join you, just the fact of them experiencing what you're going through with you is a great foundation for the relationship. Okay. So definitely when it comes to your significant other, when it comes to your partner, I deal with a lot of people. Okay. And when I deal with these people, the first thing that they always say is, I don't know if I could tell him because I don't know what he's going to think. Or I don't know if I could tell her because I don't know what she's going to think. That right there is an automatic red flag, okay? Because any man who I engage with, any man who courts me will definitely have to respect, understand, know everything about my lifestyle, my journey, because my journey is very important to me. And that's not something I would want to hide from anyone. That's not something I would want someone to not know because it's a critical part of who I am. I don't ever want to be around you, and not be able to see a 333 and be like, like I can't, no, 333. If you don't know what that means, or if you don't understand that, then you somebody that's not going to be in my circle. Okay. So be very honest with your partners, you guys, as you go on whatever healing journey that you take, whatever spiritual journey that you take. Now, I'm not saying go grab the Bible and just be shoving it in their face. Don't do that. Do not do that. Just ask them to support you while you are on your journey, okay? That's the very critical part. You want support while you're on your journey. If you feel like you're in a relationship where you have to hide what you do or how you do it, then automatically you're in the wrong relationship, okay? So this will level up your partner because, like I said, if you are doing your healing right, you will have a success story. You will have a testimony. Your pain will be a testimony. Your pain will become a testimony. Everything that you go through will become a testimony. So you're going to want to share it with people. You're going to want to share it with your significant other. You're going to want to share it with your family members. If you're not doing this work right, then you're going to want to hide it because that means, well, I'm not going to say that means that, but 9 times out of 10, the people who want to hide it are the people who are doing it for the low devilish reason. They're doing it for greed. They're doing it for money. They're doing it for control or manipulation, or they're doing some, weird type of stuff to try to dominate a situation or a person. Okay. So that is something totally different. Okay. But like I said, I don't know what anyone's spiritual practices are. I just know when it comes to spiritual candies, we are a healing service. Okay. So we're dealing with your trauma. We're dealing with your pain. We're not a service that revenge or, getting back at people. No, we tell you how to heal and to rise above your trauma. So the need to level up your partner this year, if your partner don't know that you're on a journey or how important your journey is to you, level up your partner by educating them on what it is that you're doing, how it is that you plan on healing. Let them know. That way they have a fair chance to say, hey, all right, I don't have a problem with this. I want to support you. Okay. Or if they say, you know what, I don't really like all that healing stuff. It just sounds weird. Or, some of them don't want to go to church or, whatever your journey is and they don't want to support it, then that's a telltale sign that you're going to have to reevaluate the type of connection that you're in. Okay. And the person that, you've decided to connect with or deal with or be with. Okay. But typically in a healthy situation, I've seen the partners level up as well. Now, when you start to go through your healing journey, you will start to level up. Okay. Last thing we want is a lot of people will get on this healing journey and they will work hard, but they're with somebody who's not working enough or doing anything at all. So they don't see the results of the work that they're doing because their partner or significant other is constantly absorbing all of their energy. So it's like, I don't understand why I'm doing all of this work. I'm changing the way I eat. I'm eating according to my blood type. I'm walking every day. I'm exercising. I'm, healing my trauma. I'm forgiving others. I'm forgiving myself. I'm focusing on, my purpose. I don't get it. Why am I not seeing results? It can be that the person you're tied to isn't doing anything. Okay. So while you're intimate with that person, once again, they're absorbing all, of your energy, all of your opportunities. And I know we think, oh, what is that even possible? Yes, that's yes, that's possible. Okay. Yes, it is possible, you guys. It is possible for them to take all of your energy, all of your blessings. So if you're somebody who's doing any type of spiritual work, you definitely want to make sure that your partner is either aware of your spiritual work that you're doing and how important it is that you heal from your trauma, and how important it is that you tap into your purpose and your power so that they can understand when you start making these, healthier eating lifestyle changes and things of that nature, they can perhaps say, hey, you know what? I want to increase my vibration as well. I see you doing all of this work and I don't want to be a burden to you, or I don't want to be, a sponge to you, absorbing all of that hard work that you're doing so we don't see any results. So I feel like I want to eat towards, a better lifestyle as well. So that's why I say if you're doing this right, I don't see why your partner wouldn't want to join you. Okay. I wouldn't understand that part right there. Okay. All right. So the need to level up your partner with that right there, have that conversation, which will let us segue into the next one, having healthy conversations. Okay. The need to have healthy conversations. Hold on, y'all. I told myself, Siren, please make sure you drink water because you go in there, you do all that dang on talking. Make sure you drink water. And I still have my copper mug. For those of you who have been rocking with Spiritual Candies, hopefully y'all still have y'all copper mug. Y'all need to be using it this year. I'm telling you now. And when we say a copper mug, this mug is made from 100% copper. A lot of mugs that they sell now, it's a copper color. So if you're looking for a copper mug, okay, if you say, oh, I want to get me a copper mug, make sure it is made with 100% copper and it is not just the copper color, okay? So yeah, cheers to y'all. All right, so let's talk about the need to have those healthy conversations, okay? And one of the healthy conversations would be to discuss with your significant other the importance, okay, of your journey, the importance of what you want, your goals, and things of that nature. I think it is so critical that we start to have healthy conversations. I don't care if you met this person yesterday. If you met this person yesterday, you should still be able to have a healthy conversation with this person. I think we need to learn how to be more honest, not just with ourselves, but with others, and we need to make sure that we are putting things out there on the table. When it comes to my lifestyle, right? When it comes to the way I would choose a significant other, especially today, but let's say when I was younger, okay? I was very clear with Bae. They do not like when I tell this story, but I was very clear with him. Like, listen, buddy, like I'm a woman with 2 kids. Okay. I got bills and responsibilities. I don't have time for no games. Okay. If you come over here, there's bills that are due every month on the 1st. And you best believe that I'm going to be needing you, okay, as well as others, because anything you don't do, the next one will, okay? And until I am married, I am nobody's woman. Period. You either in or out. That way you give somebody the opportunity to say, okay, well, either I can, handle that, right, I can't. Now, when they wanted me to himself, which probably from day one, but I think he thought it was a joke at first. But when he was like, dang, she really like on this, like, hey, okay, I had my top 5. I did. So, he was like, yo, like, what is going to take? Because I ain't really comfortable with knowing that, you have other friends out there. So when he saw what it took, he's like, all right, either you're going to do this or you're not. And he's like, and I'm going to do it. I see myself with you. You're a good woman. So he's like, I'm going to take care of everything. So you don't need none of them. Get rid of all of them. Get rid of all of them, and we moved on from there. Okay. But I was very clear. And that's the important part. That's why, he can't look back and say, I didn't know, you were just out there, you just had other friends and I didn't know. No, I did nothing behind your back. I did absolutely nothing. You already knew what you didn't do, somebody else did. Okay. So it's like when you have those healthy conversations with people, y'all, don't be afraid of the way you feel. Don't be afraid of the way they're going to feel. Long as you're being honest, long as you're being truthful, you should not be worried about how they're going to feel. Someone should respect your honesty and someone should respect your truth. So when you're meeting people, or when you're starting to date, people, and you're new in the relationship and stuff like that, that's the best time to get everything off the table. On the table, that's the best time. Don't do it after y'all been together 4-5 years, by the way, be very honest, be very open and upfront with the person that you're choosing, because that way you're going to want them to be very open and honest too. I'm like, okay, so you got a baby mama. Okay. Y'all still screwing. You know what I'm saying? And be honest. If you are, you are. What can I say about that? Either I'm going to be with you and mess around with you, or I'm not, but give me the freedom. See, we bind people to this false identity. We bind people to our lies and the image we want to portray. But when you are truthful to somebody, be like, yeah, I got a baby mama, I slide through every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I go over there, pick up my son. She be looking, it is what it is. And we do what we do. And, I keep it moving. We ain't trying to be together, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would respect that so freaking much. I would be like, I would be in love with that. Like that's serious. I would probably sit at the dinner table. Boing, I would be excited from that. That is so fucking sexy to me. Like, what? Like, okay, like tell me more. I love a healthy conversation. Okay. It's like just put it out there. No need to put on the mask, no need to hide it, no need to lie. I'd rather if a dude is like, hey, sometimes I like a little backdoor action. I ain't into dudes, but I like a woman to, Now, I would probably run from that one, but I would respect. He's somebody who I would want to be my friend for life. Like, we ain't finna be together, but I would definitely want you as a friend. Because I'm not backdooring you at all. But, I would appreciate the honesty. I would appreciate him telling me the truth. I don't, want to do that with you, but hey, you never know. Get the right alcohol in your system. You never know how it could go down. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is have healthy conversations, you guys, this year. Put it all out there, okay? Don't lie to people. Don't bind people. It's like you become that entity that people talk about called the devil. You become that version when you lie to people and you bind them into a relationship with you based upon lies, based upon something that's not true. Some people like to hold back the fact that they have kids. Some people like to hold back the fact that, they burning or they got herpes or, be honest. Because you want that energy back, you want to put that energy out there so that you can meet people that will tell you the truth and not string you along, So That's why I say the need for healthy conversations this year. We're all grown. We're all mature. Why do we have to lie? Are we afraid that we're going to be rejected by that person if we tell them the truth? No. If that person rejects you and you tell them the truth, then that's not somebody you want to build a relationship, because that means you would have had to hide that for years, which would mean your relationship would never be stable or healthy because it will be built upon lies. So the foundation of that connection will be like this forever. Okay. So tell them everything that you need to tell them. Ask them. Okay. Ask questions. Y'all stop. Oh, I'm scared. I don't know if I need to ask that. I don't know. What question are you afraid to ask? It's not that you're afraid to ask. You're afraid to know the truth. Ask questions. It just trips me out how we can get with somebody and we can lay up with them and we can feel good about that, but we feel bad about asking certain questions. So, you guys have asked me in the past and I've answered. How do you feel about asking a man about his income, when you're getting to know him? You want to know if he got money or not after you done fell in love with him? You want to know if he's going to be able to provide a stable foundation for you after you fell in love with him? Y'all need to ask these questions right away. What are you waiting for? You know what I'm saying? What are you waiting for? Get all of that out of the way in the beginning, right? Stop sitting around and not asking those healthy questions, right away. It just ask the freaking questions, okay? Ask him, do you have any baby mamas? And this is him or her. Y'all know how it is. Interchange it as needed, okay? Ask them, do you have a baby mama, baby daddy? Okay. Ask them, are y'all still intimate? Now, you don't want to ask them about an ex. That's one thing I always say. When it comes to an ex, that's none of your business. You're not together. Now, if they say that's my ex, you got to trust that this person is no longer with that person. The minute they say that's my ex, questions are off the table. Okay? And if you got somebody you meet, they always talking about their ex, that's a red flag. Okay? Especially if they don't got no kids with them. Why are you sitting here? You think I'm taking you on a date, spending my money on you to listen to you talk about this nigga? Why are you talking about this person? And you should not be asking about that person. You don't want to know nothing about the ex. That energy is irrelevant. Only if they have kids or if they were married to that person, which means whether they have kids or not, they may still have some sort of situation together. Maybe there could be alimony, because if that's your ex-wife and y'all didn't have any kids together, maybe you paying her alimony. So now I got to, deduct that from, whatever it is that you make. How long you got to pay her alimony? Because for all I know, you could be paying her alimony for the rest of y'all life. So now I have to see if I want to become married with someone who has to pay alimony to a previous marriage forever and a day, even though there's no kids. So that's why I say these are healthy conversations. I think when we getting on these dates, we're asking the wrong questions. What you like? Whatever kind of food you like. We got to make sure we're asking the right questions. Is their credit good? Tell me the truth. Is your credit good? What's your credit looking like? If I were to go on a date with somebody and they say, well, my credit was good, but recently, I started applying for some loans because I'm trying to, purchase some real estate. I want some rental property and things of that nature. So I've been applying for some loans. I got approved for like 2 of them. So I got 2 properties in the works, but, that kind of messed up my credit a little bit. And I did take, the money that I had and I was financing this. So I had to pull back from that, had to let a couple of payments go, behind. But, I'm in the process of catching everything up now that I got my properties, that's a sexy conversation right there. That's a sexy conversation. That's the type of stuff that we need to know, because a lot of us, we don't know this. And now we got a baby with this person. You never knew what their credit was like. You never knew what their blood type. Y'all need to know the blood type of people. If you're going to procreate, if you're going to have a baby with somebody, you need to know your blood type and you need to know their blood type. That can prevent birth defects. That can prevent, miscarriages. That can prevent a lot of inner wound. That can prevent a lot of fibroids. Okay. Men, that can prevent a lot of cancer, okay, prostate issues, okay. That can prevent a lot of things just by knowing the blood type of the partners that you are with. It is very, very, very critical that you understand the blood type. Another question you want to ask, which I know this is more, metaphysical, is what's your sign? When's your birthday? You want to know their sign. You want to know, okay, one thing about me, I know one sign that I'm like never, ever, ever in my long-legged life. Okay. And that is a Sagittarius. I understand. Now listen, before I would be that type that was chasing Sagittarius with a knife every time I see him. Okay. Every time I see somebody who's a Sagittarius, I got a knife. Okay. Because I was angry. I was angry because I got my little heart broke by Sagittarius and I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to receive that. But as I studied Sagittarius and I understand how Sagittarius is, I'm like, oh, okay. Now I can't blame them for their ways because that's just who they are. It's that's like you getting mad at a lion for chasing a deer. Like they're not doing it just to be nasty or evil or wicked. That's just that's their nature. That's how they get down. So when it comes to that Sagittarius, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Now I'm like, all right, cool. I understand. It was my bad. It wasn't Sagittarius bad for how they did me. It wasn't their bad for how they did me because they was just being true to who they are. It was my bad for being ignorant to not knowing the Sagittarius energy. I got involved with it. I didn't do my research. I got hurt. Okay. So I could not be mad at Sagittarius. So now today I know, stay the fuck away. Okay. Stay away. Sagittarius does have a good side. They do. They have a great side of their energy, but I know their energies and I know that that's just not something that I want to deal with, So that's why I say, if you know, the more you know about somebody, the better of a decision you can make as far as, okay, is this somebody I see myself with? Is this somebody that I want to date? Is this somebody that I feel like I can handle? So Sagittarius, listen, I'm going to tell y'all, we're going to go into the zodiacs, okay? Because we're talking about partnerships and we're going to go over some of the zodiac, all right? Sagittarius, they love multiple partners. It's their nature, okay? If you are with a Sagittarius and you think that they are loyal, if there's a Sagittarius who's loyal, it's because they probably sick. I'm not lying. Something wrong with them. Because that's like saying a lion who don't hunt. Something wrong with him. It's like, oh, something wrong. He got him because he usually always hunting, but now he hunting. A Sagittarius will settle down probably when they 90. Okay? When they 80 or 90. But it is for them to have multiple people because they have a big energy. Okay, they got that BD energy, you know what I'm saying, for the men. And the women, they got that, ocean water energy, okay? Sagittarius love long distance relationships, okay? They are great with long distance relationships. They are the perfect people for long distance relationships, okay? Dealing with a Capricorn, Capricorns work a lot. They are one of the most boring people you can. I love y'all Capricorn, but Capricorns love to stay home. They love a home life. They love to work. They put all their energy into work. I gotta work. That's what Capricorns love to work. Now, the good thing about a Capricorn is that they will take care of the household. They will contribute to their household, okay, with no problem. They gonna take care of that household. Capricorn men, they the type that pay all the bills. They typically don't like their women to work. They don't like you to be busy. They like you to, now that's the downside of Capricorn men, but it could be the upside for some women. They don't like you to work. They want you to stay home and take care of the kids or raise the kids. They love a more traditional life, okay? Now, listen, this is just siren experience. Not that I've experienced all of these signs, but this is just me studying these signs, okay, throughout my life. So this is just siren's opinion. Oh, take it or leave it, honey. All right. So Capricorn work. Very great providers, very stable, but they are just into work. They are boring as fudge. Okay. They love to do things, but like, for example, if you're with a Capricorn man, he would love to do things like with the family, like he want all the kids around. And sometimes you might want to have a sexy date night, but he's already tallying up like, why don't I just bring the kids? That way I can feed the kids and everybody eat at the same, that's how they thinking. You're just like, no, I just want date night between the two of us. Like, no, just, so Capricorn, they just be into it's too much. It's at a fault. Okay. They love a more traditional lifestyle. And they just work too much. Okay. They really focus into work, but they will take care of the home or the household. Okay. So let's look into Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius is just one thing about Aquarius date is that the mouth. It's that mouth, baby. It's the mouth. I call them the mouth of the house. Okay. Anybody who's dating an Aquarius, they are the mouth of the house. You can't tell me no different. I'm sorry. Okay. They are the mouth of the house. Aquarius can be very stern. Okay. Aquarius can be very, like, Aquarius wants you to talk like this and move like this and sit like this. Aquarius is also very investigative. Okay. Aquarius is going they're going to look at everything. They notice everything, things that you may not pay attention to, they will. Okay. In the relationship, like it can almost come off as if they nitpick. Okay. It's not their fault. This is naturally who they are and how they are. So you either willing to deal with that or not, because they're not doing it to hurt you. They're not doing it because they don't like you. This is just who they are. So Aquarius people can come off as nitpickers. Okay. It's like, oh, shut up, or, oh God, you know what I'm saying? Also Aquarius people tend to be too much into social media. So if you're with an Aquarius, dating an Aquarius, they can be probably scrolling a lot. Aquarius rules social media. So you can expect Aquarius people to be into, all the different social media outlets, or sometimes dating online. If they're single, they're more than likely comfortable with dating online. But Aquarius people can be too much into social media, or they can live more of a social media lifestyle as opposed to a actual traditional lifestyle. They will incorporate social media in their life, maybe a little bit too much, okay? Where their life can become more of like a reality show as opposed to living. You know what I'm saying? So that's Aquarius. They can be a little nosy and a little snoopy. Social media, okay, they could be social media junkies, you know what I'm saying? That's all I could really say about Aquarius. They can be very stern. They can be a little nitpicky and talk too damn much when you don't want to hear anything, okay? They don't know when to be quiet. Aquarius don't believe in just, silence. Even when they're silent, their head is going. They mind is, you know what I'm saying? So they don't really like too much silence, you know what I'm saying? It's like if y'all sitting in a room, they want you to talk to them. Like, say something to me, or they finna talk to you. It's just, we can't both just sit here in silence, okay? Pisces, lying, sneaky, whorish Pisces, dating a Pisces are one of the craziest zodiacs that you can date, because Pisces believe their own lies. Pisces can be compulsive liars. When Pisces are vibrating to the lower side of themselves, they can be compulsive liars, and then they can easily become alcoholics, or they can easily become they gamble too much, and they will hide it. Pisces will definitely hide what they do. You cannot believe that. Okay, Pisces is going to tell you, because they literally make it up as they go, and they believe their own lies. Pisces can be rather emotional, and Pisces are a water energy. And with them being overly emotional, they tend to like to share their emotions with multiple people. So Pisces can be rather whorish. It's kind of like that fish. That fish is slippery. So when you try to grab a fish, it just, slides right out of your hands. It's hard to get a hold of them emotionally. Even though Pisces can be deeply in love with you, Pisces love to share their emotions, and they're very secretive. If Pisces can date 5 people and all of them people know, they don't want to do it. They only want secret love affairs. Pisces get off on secret. If you're married to a Pisces and he has a side piece or she has a side piece, the minute you find out about that side piece, they don't want to deal with them no more. Pisces love anything secretive, anything that's like, just secret lovers. That's Pisces right there, okay? Anything that is hidden, Pisces get off on those type of relationships. If they're not cheating, they can hide their feelings. They will hide the way they truly feel. It's kind of hard to get. You have to put a Pisces through a lie detector test if you want to know how they really feel. Pisces will hide their feelings a lot, okay? So you will not be able to get the truth out of those Pisces folk, okay? Let me see. What is the good side of a Pisces? The good side of being with Pisces is, again, they can be very emotional. They can be very sentimental. Pisces know what makes you feel good. Pisces will spoil you. Pisces will give you whatever it is that you want. One thing about Pisces, they're not stingy, okay? They will try to spoil you. They will try to give you the things that they know you like. Pisces wants to spoil you, whether they can or can't. They typically want to spoil you and give you what it is that you want. But I feel like it's typically out of guilt, because majority of the times a Pisces may be cheating or may be seeing someone, whether it is emotionally or whether it is physically. They feel comfortable. They're in their element. I ain't gonna lie. When they're living in the shadow. Okay, that's where, the fish, what we have to do to the fish, we have to put the bread on the hook or the bait on the hook to get them. But that's the only time they come to the surface. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, Pisces are out in the water, and majority of the time down at the bottom, feeding off of that. So they don't come to the top unless, okay. So it's like with Pisces, you have to put that bait out there for them to come and to get it. So dealing with the Pisces, you guys, you got to be ready for somebody who will either hide secret love affairs or hide their emotions from you. Okay. Let's go to Aries. Aries are very, one thing about Aries love to be the leader. Aries love to be in control. The only thing about Aries is that Aries can become a little violent, okay? Aries can become a little disrespectful when they don't get their way. Aries can want to manipulate you a lot because they want to be in control of you. Aries can say things or do things to make you feel a little bit less than, because Aries love to, especially if like an Aries man who has a woman who's the breadwinner, he will love her, but he will probably criticize her. He will bash her. He will envy her. Okay. Aries can hold on to a lot of envy, a lot of jealousy. They're typically the ones to be jealous of their partner if the partner is doing better than them, or if they feel intimidated by the partner in some way, shape, or form. For as long as Aries is the head of the household, they feel the most comfortable. Aries can come off a little, bullyish, you know what I'm saying? A little possessive as well, and a little controlling, but that's their element. Aries is the leader. It's the head. It's the start of everything. It's the creator of everything. So it just feels as if because I created it, I own it. It's mine. You have to do as I say. I control you. I'm the creator. So Aries just don't know how to share. You know what I'm saying? Aries don't know how to release, things of that nature. But when Aries is in their best energy, typically they're the breadwinner. They're the head of the household. They're, they love to travel. They love to have fun. But Aries is going to be like the one who leads the conversation. Aries is the one who stands up and talk. Everybody else sitting down like this, but Aries is gonna be like, all right. So that's Aries. They have that boss type of energy. They have that CEO or that leader or the person in charge, type of energy naturally, even though they might not be the person in charge. So Aries can be very fun partners. Aries are usually very sexy. Aries are usually, very intimate. They can be very romantic. They can be very fun when it comes to intimacy because they love new things. They love trying things and they're very passionate. So that's a good thing about being with Aries. Taurus. Okay, let's get over to Taurus. Taurus. Y'all, Taurus, listen, I don't have no beef with y'all, Taurus. Okay. Taurus are the most loyal of all of the zodiacs. Okay. Y'all don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Okay. So y'all can let YouTube know that you guys really are appreciating the information. Okay. So that they can recommend it. So if you're not getting any notifications and things of that nature, they're going to feel like you don't ever like it. So what we going to notify you for? You don't even like what she's saying. So make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button. Okay. And shout out to y'all. Hey, Anisha. Hey, Anisha. All right, so Taurus are the most loyal, okay? But the thing about Taurus is that Taurus will stay in a relationship beyond that time because they're so loyal, because they just feel like, okay, it's just a bad time. It's just we're going through a rough patch. Taurus don't know how to get out. Taurus don't know when to get out. And Taurus will stay in a relationship that does not serve them. So with a Taurus, even though they don't like you or not in love with you no more, they still gonna stay with you and they still gonna be, loyal to you and things of that nature. The thing about Taurus is that Taurus likes the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Taurus is like, this is the routine. That's what it is. Why change it? It's going to be hard to, get a Taurus to move or, once Taurus gets settled, they like, what are we changing it for? You're not going to be dragging Taurus all over the place. Oh, let's do this now. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. You're not going to be dragging Taurus all over the place. One thing about Taurus, the best thing about a Taurus is Taurus love nice things, right? Taurus will spoil the out of you because Taurus gets things so easily. And that's one thing that Taurus don't understand. What a lot of people have to work hard for, Taurus get it like this, okay? When you see a Taurus, they look very nice. They look well put together. Taurus usually have great jobs or a great source of income. And what happens is Taurus will take care of you. They will spoil you. They will do whatever it is because Taurus likes nice things. Taurus likes a bougie lunch, a bougie dinner. Taurus likes a nice car. Taurus likes nice furniture. Taurus likes nice clothes. And Taurus naturally attracts those things because Taurus is ruled by Venus, which loves bougie, nice things. So when you get with a Taurus, you tend to experience a lavish lifestyle or a nicer lifestyle. So it don't have to be, like Versace and, Gucci and all of that, but you will definitely have some nice things. Okay. You will definitely have a nice living environment. If ever I see a Taurus that is living in filth, I know something wrong with them. That's not a healthy Taurus right there. Taurus really truly loves a nice, clean, and loving and bougie looking environment. They like everything nice. Okay. So when you're in a relationship with a Taurus person, you will also benefit off of that Venus energy, which is about nice dinners. You're going to have some bougie dinners. You're going to have, nice vacations. Okay. Taurus not going to take you to no Motel 6. Okay, you're not. If you're a woman and a guy takes you out and y'all going on vacation and he trying to get a cheap hotel, I'm not going. I'm not going. No, So a Taurus is like, honestly, to me, Taurus is like the lucky charm. Even though Sagittarius is supposed to be the lucky charm, but I feel like Taurus is the lucky charm of the zodiac because when you're connected to Taurus, you're connected to that Venus energy. So it's like whatever they get easily, they will definitely spoil you with it. Okay. You say preach, Terrence. You say took me too long to run. LOL. Yeah, Taurus will Taurus will stay in a relationship or a situation beyond its expiration date, but it's because Taurus are just loyal like that. Very, very, very loyal people. And Taurus, like I say, likes nice things, likes, healthy things. So people tend to, when they get with a Taurus, they will stick with a Taurus, because it's like they know they finna be taken care of. They know the foundation is finna be taken care of. They know they experiencing a lifestyle that they probably wouldn't experience outside of that. So they tend to latch on to Taurus. The downside to Taurus is that Taurus can get a little, lazy. Taurus can get a little complacent. Taurus can get a little comfortable in the way things are and never change it. It's like, no, I change it. Let's just stay like this, just leave it like this. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. And when Taurus have to go through those, massive changes and stuff like that, it can get uncomfortable. Taurus can get uncomfortable and they can show you a side of them that you like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Taurus will get frustrated. They will get, a little argumentative. They will get a little defensive, because they don't like change. They do not like change. So once they get over that change, things will go back, to being back to the way it was. But, a lot of people, they will leave a Taurus or they will, just disconnect from a Taurus whenever Taurus get out of that natural energy they're in, whenever they're going through a change. A lot of people who deal, because they even used to Taurus being the way that they are. So they were like, you know what, I can't deal with this. And a lot of people will probably leave Taurus as opposed to Taurus leaving them. But when a Taurus is fed up and leave your arse, I'm like, what did you do? What did you do? That'd be the first thing I say. You was with a Taurus? Oh, when they left you? Wait, what did you do? I'm like, you had to have the Taurus do not leave. You could shoot Taurus in the back and they will still be there. Yeah, she done shot me 3 times, It takes a lot for Taurus to leave, okay? So let's move on to Gemini. Oh, Lord. Gemini are very much so, you got to screw a Gemini's mind, okay? It's not about the physical. Gemini could be with you forever and probably not really want to be physical. When you got a mind, you got Gemini. Gemini, you have to really screw the mess out of their mind. They love a very stimulant conversation. You have to stimulate them with good conversation, okay? Gemini wants to hear. They love to talk. The lower side of Gemini, when they vibrate and low, they love to gossip. Gemini is like, they're like computers. They just take in information. So they tend to listen to things or read things or, watch information. It's like all day input. You could never have a long enough conversation with Gemini. So if you like to talk, you could keep a Gemini. But if you don't like good conversations, Gemini will come and just walk through you and keep going to the next one. You have to stimulate them with a good conversation. You have to stimulate them with knowledge. They love to learn. They love to, teach you stuff or whatever. So if you're not in that mind space, and they love truth. Gemini will study you and listen to you, and they'll know when you lying. Gemini will know when you lying and all of that stuff. So, you just got to be careful because Geminis, they see through a lot, okay? They definitely always up in the head. So you can have great conversations with Gemini. That's the thing I love about a Gemini. You can have some they will listen. When they don't know, they listen. And when they do know, they will teach you some things. So, you want to hold on to them with some good advice, some good conversation, things of that nature. The thing about Gemini is that they in their head too damn much. See, it can be depressing being with a Gemini sometimes because Geminis are that air sign, they in their head too much, okay? Geminis can easily become depressed. Right? If they don't get a conversation to stimulate them, or if the world don't stimulate them, they get a baby. It's like a temper tantrum, and then they go into depression. So that's the thing about Gemini. They just be in their head too dang much. It's like, please just live. It can become draining dealing with a Gemini because you always have to stimulate them. It's like that damn baby that you always gotta, next. Like they can't just sit there and play with their own toys. Like you gotta entertain them and move them around. As soon as you put them down, you gotta pick them back up. It's like that with a Gemini. They in their head too much. They're easily manipulated. So you got to keep them with a strong mind. Gemini can receive frequencies like no other. So as the frequencies pass all up and through us, that's one thing, because we just living our life. You just going to the store to get some bread. But a Gemini has to pay attention to, well, why did the stoplight turn red when I got here? Like everybody before me went, but now that I'm here, the light wants to turn red. What does that mean? That gotta mean, you be like, oh God, so it's always something with Gemini, and that can be a little too much for people. For me, it's too much. I can't deal with Gemini. No Gemini for me. All right. Cancer are more than likely mama boys. Okay. Those are the mama's boys, honey. It's just, you got to pull them out of their mama house and stuff like that. Cancers are very emotional. They could be petty. They be in their feelings too much. Like, Cancer they in their feelings too much. Okay, this is a water sign, so you gotta expect them to be that way. Ain't nobody got time for that. But if you got time for an emotional water bag, crying all the time, Cancer, then you can deal with it. Okay. Cancers usually have great relationships with their mother, but if you meet a Cancer who does not have a great relationship with their mother, then that's they're probably very emotional. Cancers, because they don't know how to control their emotions, they can become a little irate. They can become either verbally or physically abusive, because if they're very emotional, they deal with all of their emotions 100%. What we feel, we might be like, I ain't worried about that. That ain't Cancer. Cancer is like, what? They're like, they feel everything. Like what we feel 40%, they feel at 100%. To us, it could be small and petty, but they feel it at 100%. So they tend to go overboard, with their emotions. They tend to just, hold on to things a lot longer. They tend to be very snappy. It's like they be like, what you say? What? Why? What you said? Why? You're like, wait, hold on. Why are you on 100? Okay. Cancers are just very emotional. Now, Cancers can be rather loving. Okay. They can be very supportive. But they can also be very abusive. Like they can mess with your emotions. Cancers can hurt you. Okay. They're like the master of emotions. So they can hurt you when it comes to your emotions. They can really and truly mess you up. They will hurt your feelings. They know how to get in there. Okay. Cancers are professionals on getting in there to that spot that nobody is supposed to be in. Okay, so they know how to get to you emotionally. So when you're dealing with a Cancer, you got to be very sensitive with them and trust. They'll be all right. But if they don't have a good relationship with their mother, that could be a red flag that you may be dealing with a lesser side of the Cancer. That they are mama's babies. Okay. After Cancer, Leo. Leos love to be the center of attention. One thing I don't like about a Leo, Leos, you gotta know a Leo to be with a Leo. Okay. Leo is the one that when you take them to your family events, they gotta be the star of the party. Leo just like too much damn attention. Okay. Leo can become a little narcissistic because the conversation always got to be about them, or they're going to drag it back to them. Leo likes too much attention. Like they love to be recognized. A Leo ain't finna get dressed and you don't tell them they look good. Oh, they mad at you now. They got an attitude because you didn't say, oh, you look good. Oh, I like you in that outfit. Leo likes, or they demand a lot of attention. Like I say, these are all of their faults, you guys. This is just how these people are. It's their natural energy. So you either deal with it or you don't. You can't get mad at it because they don't do it to piss you off. It's just their natural energy, and it's just their natural makeup, and it's just who they are, period. So Leos love attention. If you're ready to give them all of your attention, if you're ready to just, pray, they love to be praised. If you're ready to praise them and just recognize them and, just they pissed off when they go to work and the supervisor didn't recognize them, or they didn't get whatever it may be. Leos love attention. They love to be the star of the night, okay, all the time. If you are okay with dealing with that all the time, then you're ready to date a Leo, okay? You're ready to date a Leo. Sometimes we can deal with the lesser side of Leo, which means they will prefer to be in the background. They prefer to not be seen. That is a very unhealed Leo. Okay. Very, very, very unhealed Leo. And when a Leo does not like to be seen or be in the forefront, that means that they're vibrating to the lesser side of Leo, and they are very unbalanced. There are so many things that could have happened to that Leo to trigger them to be in that energy. Sometimes it could be childhood trauma. Sometimes it can be, just some sort of experience that they went through after childhood in their adult life. Something turned that switch off. But a good Leo that's vibrating in their true energy is definitely always wanting to be in the spotlight, always wanting that attention from you, always wanting it to be about them. So that's it for Leo. What we got after that? Virgo. Okay. Virgo folk are very, I don't want to say like OCD, because they're not really OCD. Virgo people, they tend to get on my nerves just a little bit because they're so critical. They break things down beyond the necessity. Like, you ain't have to break it down to that. Virgo's just like, I'm like, why did you even, who thinks that deep into? Virgo breaks everything down. Virgo has got to get to the root of everything, the foundation of it got to make sense. You can say, okay, it makes sense like this. Oh, I get it. Virgo is like, no, but why does it make sense like that? Let's break that down. You're like, oh my God. Virgo got time, baby. Virgo got time. They got time. They got time. Now, Virgo is that energy that switches us from the physical into spiritual. So it's where we're moving from our masculine to the feminine energy, right? Virgo is right in the middle of where the sun goes down and the moon is starting to come out. So right in the middle of that is where Virgo is. So Virgo has a lot of physical and it has a lot of spiritual energy. So Virgo like to convert the two. They will convert a physical experience into a spiritual experience. They will convert a spiritual experience into a physical experience. So Virgos can be kind of like on that scale, or right in the middle of that scale of a very regular life and then also a very spiritual life. Virgos can be healers, okay? Because Virgos connect with, like I said, it's that sign that's right there in the middle. Like, it is right where the physical stop and the spiritual starts. So they're the connector of both. So Virgo can be very spiritual people. They can be very physical people. They can be, great. But the thing about Virgo is that they don't know how to balance that. Okay. Sometimes they could be too much spiritual, not enough physical. Sometimes they could be too much physical, not enough spiritual. So Virgo don't know where to balance it at. Virgo have got to realize, okay, if I'm connected to both sides, how do I find the middle? And I think Virgo spends majority of their life trying to find the middle, trying not to be too spiritual and not to be too, physical. And it's like, unless they find and figure that out, they can stay all over the place. So Virgo people can tend to be just like here, there, everywhere, just not grounded at all, not as stable as they should be, mentally all over the place, physically all over the place, even though they love perfection, but they seek perfection in everybody else, not in them. They seek perfection in you. They seek perfection in their environment. They seek perfection in everything else. But you like, damn, how did you figure all that out? But you are all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, God dang, if you could just put that together when it comes to you. But Virgo can't get in a space where they can put it together because, again, they either can tap too much in their physical or tap too much in their spiritual. So Virgo, they can't make it make sense when it comes to their own life. So they search for perfection. They spend their whole life searching for the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So until they realize how to balance themselves. See, everybody from Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, they're on the physical side. Okay, they are all that physical, right? So when we get to Virgo, it's like that's where the physical ends, right at Leo. So Virgo has half of the physical, and then the spiritual starts at Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. All of that is the spiritual side. That's the feminine side. So Virgo is right there in the middle. And unfortunately, Virgo has got to hold the energy of both of them. See, all the other ones either have physical or spiritual, but Virgo has both. Okay, so Virgo tend to search for that perfection in things and in people and environments, and because they can't have it within, because they have this both. So it's kind of like if I'm dealing with everybody on this side of the scale, I can't really introduce them to the spiritual side because they're physical. But when I'm dealing with people on the spiritual side, I can't really introduce them to the physical side because they're spiritual. So who do I connect with? I don't connect with either of them because I am actually both. They are either physical or spiritual. So, Virgo search for perfectionism all the time in us, not understanding that we are not made of both sides like they are. Okay, so they can be all over the place. So y'all just have a little mercy when it comes to your precious Virgos out there. They're like in a league of their own. Okay. We got Virgo. Next up, we got Libra. Okay. Libra starts the spiritual side. It starts the divine feminine side. It starts the shadow side of us. And when it comes to Libra is also ruled by Venus. So with Venus being about your status, luxury, okay? Libra loves the spiritual side of luxury. Taurus is also ruled by Venus, but Taurus gets the physical side of luxury, cars, clothes, bougie dinners, expensive things. Taurus likes stuff like that. But when it comes to Libra likes the bougie things as far as, spirituality or, spiritual baths or things of that nature, high energy, high frequency. Libra is going to like everything like that Taurus likes, but just in the divine feminine type of energy. So Libras can be very specific about who it is that they date. They look for, I think Libra can also look for perfection in their dates or who it is that they date. They want that perfection, but they don't always get it. Libra holds on to an ideal of what life should be and how people should be. As well, they tend to look for, very stable, relationships and connections, but to their fault. Libra just want everybody to be right and do right. They're the scales, okay? They want everybody to be right. They want everybody to do right. They want everything to be fair. Libra wants justice. It wants balance. And Libra has got to exist in a society where that just don't happen. It's not going to be balanced. And when Libra sees things that are out of balance or there's no justice, Libra can get triggered. So Libras can be very irate. They can be very ready to snap. They can become like walking bombs, okay? Walking time bombs, just ready to explode because Libra does not like injustice. They don't like things to not be fair. Libras are just like Taurus. They can be loyal and things of that nature, but Libras can cheat more than a Taurus, okay? They can step out and be a little unfaithful, and that's because that scale can tip. Now, when you're dealing with a Libra, that scale needs to be balanced. If that scale does this, okay, you're dealing with an unbalanced Libra, they can become all type of stuff when they're unbalanced. Okay. We can't even count out nothing. When a Libra is unbalanced, I don't think you want to be around them. Okay. And a lot of people, unfortunately, are having to deal with Libras that are unbalanced. My heart goes out to you. Libras can be very rude. They can be very disrespectful. They can become cheaters, liars, It's because, like I said, they're in an unbalanced relationship. When it comes to Libra, when that scale is balanced, it's because you're giving them that energy that they need to balance their scales. Libras are typically like this. They have to get a partner that is going to balance them out, okay? This is how they can live a good and balanced life. It is really about the other person that they're with. So when it comes to Libras, they need to be very critical about who they date. You have to date people that keeps you like this and not like this, okay? So when you're dealing with the Libra, honey, just know you're going to have to deal with some stuff. Okay, if they're unbalanced, you will have to deal with some stuff. You will have to help them, educate them, things of that nature. Like I said, Libra loves things to be fair. All right. So they love a decent, significant other. They want someone who's truthful and stuff like that. And you can educate a Libra and you can bring them into balance if you're willing to invest, okay, your energy and your time into a Libra. Okay. We talked about okay, Scorpio. Oh, chat. Scorpios are the most pettiest of them all. Scorpios they just petty. Scorpios never forget nothing. If you ever do anything to a Scorpio, I don't care if you in the second grade, you best believe they're gonna get their lick back. Scorpios are the get my lick back type of folk. They will get their lick back probably in the next lifetime. They don't care. You will not do something to a Scorpio and get away with it. They are going to get their lick back some way, somehow. They remember stuff. They hold on to stuff. Scorpios are they're probably more deceptive than Pisces, okay? Meaning Scorpios deceive themselves, though. That's the thing about it. Pisces believe their own lies, but Scorpios become their own lies, okay? Scorpio or Pisces will believe a lie, but they will still act in the reality that it is, okay? But Scorpios they will lie not just to you, but to themselves, and they will put themselves in a position to experience their own lie. You know what I'm saying? Like Scorpios are it's that water, deep, deep, deep in the abyss type of energy. So it's very dark, it's very hidden. Scorpios are, very secretive. They're just very petty. One thing about a Scorpio, they will always get their lit back. I don't care what it is. I'm telling you, you could be their ex, this and that. And even though they may feel like, oh, I didn't do anything to you to physically, they're always thinking, okay, I've leveled up. So that's my lick to you. Nah, boo boo. Even though they may say, oh, I don't care about you no more and this and that, child, please. Whatever it is, however they get their lick back, a Scorpio will always get their lick back. So you don't want to do anything intentionally to mess with a Scorpio because they are petty boots like it's nobody's business. Scorpios can be very good lovers. One thing about Scorpios, they're very freaky deaky. Those are the freakiest people I think I have ever met in my life. Okay, Scorpios love to be nude. So if you are uncomfortable with your partner being in the nude, you do not want to date a Scorpio. Okay, Scorpios love to be in the nude. Okay, it's like they have a beef with clothes. They have a beef with clothes, honey. They love to be in the nude. Scorpios are also very sexual people. So when you get with Scorpios, like I said, if you need to hold back on your intimacy, being with a Scorpio can be rather tricky because they're gonna want it. Okay, they gonna want it. Like, I need it. Let's go. What's up? Hey, what's happening here? So that's the thing about dealing with a Scorpio is that they can easily drain your energy because they are such intimate beings. They can easily absorb, your energy. So you got to be careful dealing with a Scorpio because they can transfer energy to you rather easy, and they can also take energy from you rather easy. Even though it's not their intention to do it, they can just unintentionally or inadvertently absorb or drain your energy. Okay, so you want to be very careful with Scorpio. But very good partners when they're in their highest energy. Scorpios are very sensitive to becoming gamblers as well, developing gambling addictions as well as alcoholism. Okay, Scorpios can tend to drink a little bit too much. They can also tune into other devices. Scorpios seek that feeling. They're always seeking that high, regardless of where it comes from. It can come from too much intimacy. It can come from too much alcohol. It can come from too much food. One thing about a Scorpio, when they're vibrating low, they tend to hold on to a lot of addictions, okay? Or they tend to inherit a lot of addictions. It could be shopping addictions. It could be, whatever it may be for that Scorpio. So if you're dealing with a Scorpio, you may be at risk, if you're dealing with them on their lesser side, of dealing with someone who can easily have an addiction of some sort, okay? So we talked about Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius. We talked about everybody. Yes, okay. So we're gonna leave it right there, you guys. We were supposed to do something. Okay, we got how many people? Anybody in here want a numerology message? Okay, I said I wanted to close this one out with a numerology message. So if you want one, you can just put, me in the chat, okay? And I will give you a numerology message, okay? If you want a numerology message. All right. Let's see. Oh God, what did I do with the oh Lord. What did I do with the dangle? Whatchamacallit? Okay. Who we got? Hold on. Okay. So we got Anisha. Anisha say me. All right, Anisha, let's see. Okay. Your numerology message, Anisha. The number 678. Okay, 678 is your numerology message. It means it is time for you to put in the work, honey. When it comes to your career, when it comes to your life, when it comes to your job, something about work, it could be your business. It is time for you to put in the work, okay? Hold on, let me see. It's like the time to create a small business or something around your hobby. You're going to be supported with that, okay? Do something that you love. Turn your passion into a full-time moneymaker. This is where you're going to be supported. If you try like employment of some other source, they will not support it, so it will not work out. You're the type of person who takes care of everyone else, okay? And you really don't like asking for help. But they're saying you need to take down your walls, okay? You need to take down your walls, because when it comes to a business or a business idea or increasing a business, they're gonna be sending people to you to get some sort of help. You don't like to be vulnerable, but as of right now, being not vulnerable in a bad way, but being vulnerable is going to be your best bet, because they're going to send the right people to help you or to help you out, okay? So that number is 678, okay? That number is 678 for you. So that's going to be good for you for a couple of days, honey. When it comes to your business, time to put in that work. All right. Now, there are those of you. Oh, we have Terrence. I'm sorry. Hold up. Anisha, you say, I love your earrings. Ew. Thank you, darling. I'm feeling myself. Y'all know I do that every time y'all say that. Okay. Let's do Terrence. All right, Terrence. Oh, okay. So, okay, your number is 87. Okay, yeah, 678, Anisha. Let's see what this is saying. This is about connecting with a childhood sweetheart or reconnecting with a childhood sweetheart. So somebody you had lost touch with is entering back into your life. You two grew apart. You are currently in a transitional state in your life, which means this relationship, this angel number means that this special relationship or special romance is being rekindled. You are being, or you are getting a pat on the back right now because you are fulfilling your mission. You may also need some time alone. I see you having a lot of deadlines or responsibilities. Things are getting very, very, very busy. There is a need for you to carve out some time for yourself. They want you to spend some time alone, carve out some time for yourself, even if only a few hours. But this is definitely stating a childhood sweetheart or a sweetheart from your past is coming back into your life at this time. And it's because you are going through this transitional state in your life. You're going from single to back in a relationship. That's part of a transition that's happening for you right now. Okay. So this sweetheart that's coming back into your life, okay, you're in this transitional phase. You definitely need to take some time to make sure you focus on you, okay? Definitely take some time to make sure that you are giving yourself some quiet time alone, okay? Now, with that being said, that is very powerful because that's going to take me into the February box. And shout out to those of you who got your February box, who placed your order for it. I'm trying to see if I can create some of the mini boxes because the boxes sold out, you guys. Okay, shout out to y'all. What's coming in your February box? This box, you will be taking yourself on a date. This box, you will not be taking your significant other. This is something that you're going to have to do alone. Okay, this is going to put you all the month of February to where you will be spending some time alone to only focus on what you want and what you need. So with this box, you guys, we have this beautiful candle that you're going to get. It has cute little lips and stuff on it. Y'all know Siren always go above and beyond, right? Beautiful little candle that is dressed. You have your rose quartz and things in it. You have some roses in it and stuff like that. You are also going to get your bath. Okay, so you know you will get your bath. You will get your, and this is a rose quartz spoon right here. It is made out of actual rose quartz, you guys. You're gonna know what to do with that when you get your box. Okay. You have this right here where you're gonna be, you know, this is bubbles. Okay, that you're going to be using. You will get this little box right here, which has your incense and your candles, you guys. You will also be getting your little pin. Y'all know the cute little sweetheart pin. Okay. Your bath, your body wash. I haven't made the body wash. I haven't made the, you're getting a body butter. Okay. You're getting a body wash. You're getting a body oil. I'm sorry, a body butter and a body scrub. When I say it is to die for, I've been using it. Oh my word. Y'all, you're going to love it. You're also going to get this thing right here. This is where you're going to put your candle, okay? Because you're going to be spending some time with yourself, okay? And you're also going to get this. This is something very, very, very private just for you. This is where you're going to do your date, okay? I don't know what your date is going to be, but you're going to have to take yourself out on a date, and this is going to tell you exactly what your date is going to be. Okay, nobody can go with you. You cannot take your kids, your significant other. This is a commitment to you. Okay, so yes, shout out to those of you who got this box, y'all. It is, oh my God, when I say you are going to fall in love with yourself, you're going to see that investing in you is going to get you what it is that you need. By the end of this box, I'm so ready for testimonies. I cannot wait. I'm so ready for testimonies because it's definitely going to be guaranteed in this box right here. A lot of you, this will affect your business. This will affect your finances. This will affect your emotions. This will affect you on a full scale, okay? So shout out to y'all. I'm going to be seeing you guys again on Friday, y'all. Friday, we're going to be talking about money, 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 money. What? Fridays, we're going to be talking about finances. Okay. Today is relationships and partnerships. And on Mondays, we're going to talk more about, spirituality, cleansing, healing, mental health, emotional health, things of that nature. So thank you to each and every one of you who have been tuning into your girl. I really, truly appreciate it. I will be seeing you guys right here on Friday around the same time. Y'all know how we do. Others of you, if you're a part of the Patreon family, don't forget to go to Patreon and check out the new videos that have been uploaded to the Patreon platform. If you guys wish, the site will be up February the 1st, okay? February the 1st will be up. So please just be patient with me. I'm finally getting everything settled or moved and all of that stuff. I'm still waiting on the rest of my furniture stuff, y'all. Things are just all over the place, okay? But we're finally getting everything settled. I'll be ready to take you guys' orders and stuff as of February the 1st. But if you guys are looking for some orders right now, for those of you who have the messaging app, you guys know you can contact me. You can message me if there's something in specific that you want, or if you feel like you need a consultation at this time. I'm only doing one of the 2026. For those of you who got your 2026 consultations, shout out to y'all. I'm only doing one per week because they are so big. Okay. There's a lot of energy that comes in on these. They tend to have been talking about ways that you will be under attack. So I'm telling you, by this time next year, each and every one of you who got this reading, checkmate, already guaranteed. You're going to know how to win, because these readings are telling you exactly where they're going to be coming from, what part of your life they're going to be attacking, what you need to know, and how it is that you can win no matter what. I'll see y'all soon. Bye, y'all.